Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing for you the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Longwear Foundation. That is a mouthful, so pleased I managed that first time. As you can see, I have another sample pot. This is because this is a high-end foundation that retails at John Lewis, I believe, for £29.75, so we'll just call it 30 quid. That is for a full fluid ounce in a glass bottle with a pump, which makes it a bit more what you'd want it to be. Like, if I am paying 30 quid, I would like a glass bottle. So I have the lightest shade, 1C1 Cameo. It has a list on the website of like your neutral undertones, your cool undertones and warm undertones, which I really like. It's going to help you shade match if you're buying online, which I find is often like a significant problem, especially if you're of a middle tone. I think middle tones have the hardest time buying online, and honestly, I would rather go into store and just swatch and see, you know what I'm saying? So this foundation does come in 30 shades, and having a look on the website, it does go from quite light to quite dark. I think it's quite a nice, like, fully expanded shade range, which I like. It's like a really good amount of shades. I mean, I know a lot of people are coming out with like 40 shades these days, but I think 30 shades is still really good. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially considering this has been out for a while, where previously it wasn't as important to some people, or it wasn't as noticed if a foundation came out with like 12 shades or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think 30 shades with a good, nice, broad range of shades is really diverse and really inclusive. So I'm going to insert the shade 1C1 Cameo down below next to some of my other foundations so that you may see how it compares to some of the other foundations in my collection. So this is the Laura Geller Flawless Fusion Foundation in 1C1 Cameo. This is the Revolution Drop Foundation in F1. This is the LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation in Ivory. This is the Ordinary Coverage Foundation in 10N Very Fair. So I'm going to have a look at the claims. All wear, all coverage without the weight. It's the long wearing formula with flawless full coverage and 15 hours of wear. So really odd time. I find like you get like your 24-hour wear, which is too long, and you have like your 12-hour wear. 15 hours is interesting. So it's supposed to control oil immediately and throughout the day. It's a matte finish, never looking dull, flat or cakey. It's a weightless texture and fits and feels like a second skin. Matte finish, medium to full weightless coverage. So the idea is obviously that this is supposed to be skin-like but still have that medium to full buildable coverage, which you'll kind of see exactly what I think about that as the video goes on. So I think we should just dive into the foundation. So if you guys want to see how this foundation looks and wears on my skin throughout the day, then please keep on watching. And if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave. And if you press that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload. So as you guys know, we have the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation. I have the lightest shade, I believe, or at least it's lightest cool tone shade. But it looks like the lightest shade in terms of like going into store anyway. It's 1C0 Cameo. So I haven't opened this pot up, and it looks a little bit dark, like I anticipated. A lot of foundations at that high end are dark, but you know what, we're going to give it a go. So I am just going to take the lid. As usual, on one side of my face, we're going to go in with the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush and the Real Technique sponge on the other. But I am so hoping that this works because you can always lighten a foundation. So I'm just taking bits from the lid and I'm trying to put like an even amount on each side. So I'm going to do this side with the brush. I don't know that I've necessarily put enough product on, but it's not looking like super dark actually as I'm blending this out. I feel like I've definitely not put enough product on, so I'm just going to pop a bit more on the cheek, and therefore I'm going to pop a bit more on that side. I don't know how much I'm liking it with the brush application. It looks fine from afar, but up close it's just not looking so hot. Like, my skin, like, I just don't know what's happening to it. Like, it's just looking so bad. No, that does not look good. It has to look better with a sponge. It has to. Look, it's just looking all weird here. You might be able to see. And it's just kind of like gathering here. It's not looking really smooth. Like, Oh, it just does not look hot. See, it does look better on the forehead, but still here, it's just not looking nice. It's looking a bit like makeup-y. It's just not looking good. So we've got like a semi-matte finish going on to me. So far, the colour's okay. It will need blending down my neck a little bit. It is a little bit off. It's a little bit yellow as well. But then this is the cool undertone. They do have the neutral undertones and things like that to consider. Not looking hot. My sponge side has to be better. Has to be better. Looking better like instantly. Like most foundations I find are just better with the sponge. It's not the best foundation I've ever seen. Like, it doesn't look like amazing. It looks okay with a sponge. The coverage is very similar, to be honest. I'm about medium coverage at this stage. And it looks okay. I think if I applied more, it's going to look makeup-y, but we do need to kind of see if that's true, if it's buildable. So I'm going to blend the rest of the foundation in on my face, and then perhaps we'll see. So you can maybe see on my forehead, I didn't quite get to this quick enough, and you can see that that's kind of dried in place here. So you need to work with this one like fairly. So that foundation really took a lot of working with around my hairline for it not to look weird and like leave sponge marks, even though I was popping a little bit more on and things like that. I found that foundation quite hard to work with, partially because of how fast it dried, and partially because it's just, I'm struggling to make it look amazing. Like, it's getting, now that it's drying, more matte, as odd as that sounds, on the brush side. Honestly, I don't know if it's maybe too matte for my skin. I'm not liking how it's sitting. It looks better on the sponge side where it's dried a bit quicker and it's now like completely matte, like matte, 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 not like a question of matte. But I don't like it at all on this side. And I've got to go film a video now with that looking a mess on this side. And I don't like it so far. Like, it's been a while since I've not really enjoyed a foundation to some extent. Like, most of my foundation reviews have been fairly positive so far. Like, I remember at the start of my channel, a lot of them were fairly negative, then a lot of them became more positive, and now this one is just not looking so hot, mostly on this brush side. So we are going to leave it for a few hours. I am going to be doing check-ins throughout the day, but what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to pop the rest of my makeup on, and I will be right back. So I popped the rest of my makeup on, and looking at the foundation, it looks better. But I feel like it always looks better when you put all the rest of your stuff on. However, it still looks like makeup-y, especially around my mouth and like around the bottom of my face. My forehead looks pretty good. There's like no wrinkles. It doesn't look too dry and too matte now that I've applied some setting spray. It looks better, but it still looks makeup-y. It looks really, really makeup-y before I put any of the setting spray on. And I didn't even set my entire face, you know? So I think the problem with it is it's just a bit too matte and too makeup-y for me as of yet. I think if it kind of helps with like oils coming through throughout the day, I think that's going to look a bit better. But as of now, I'm not like overly keen. I wouldn't be buying a full bottle. So now we're going to go through the rest of the products I used on my face. So I used the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer in Extra Fair. I used the Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder in Translucent, and the Courtier Spun Loose Powder in Translucent. For my eyebrows, I used my Revolution Redemption palette and my L'Oreal Brow Plumper in medium, or is it dark? Medium dark it is. For my bronzer, I used the MUA bronzer in Solar. It's the matte bronzing powder. For my blush, I used the L'Oreal Life's a Peach. And for my highlight, I used this Revolution Quad. Now, I always get mixed up as to whether it's incandescent or the other one, but I'm sure this is incandescent. For my mascara, I used Benefit Roller Lash, and for my lipstick, I used the Kat Von D Studded Cream Sheen, whatever it is, in Double Dare. I also set my face with MAC Fix Plus, simply because it was looking so makeup-y, and even that hasn't completely fixed like how makeup-y it does look, like in person on the bottom of my face. So now we're going to wear this for the rest of the day. Hi guys, I'm back. It's about 4 hours later, and I thought I'd give you like a close-up of my face so you can see what I was on about. The makeup's not really changed over this 4-hour period. So if you like the way that this foundation looks on your skin, at the 4-hour period, I reckon if you're not super oily or anything like that, then it's going to look the same. So as you can see, it's looking super makeup-y around my mouth, It's starting to crease a touch, especially in this smile line. This smile line always goes first. But it's just looking a little bit makeup-y. It looks pretty good on my forehead. Like, I'm really happy with how it looks on my forehead. It's not settled into any of my lines at all, near enough, which I'm absolutely loving. My makeup's held rather well. I'm really pleased with that. But otherwise, like, it just looks makeup-y, and I'm not a fan of it looking so makeup-y. So we're going to see how it lasts over the next 4 to 6 hours. Hey guys, so it's about 10 hours later and my makeup's held like pretty well, I would say. I feel like it's exactly the same as when I came to you like 4 hours ago. I have like little dents from my glasses here, which I tried to cover up with concealer, but that's kind of it. It looks okay, it just looks so makeup-y and just bad around my nose and my mouth. Like, it looks okay everywhere else. Like, the problem with my cheeks seemed to have sorted when I set it with a powder before. My bronzer's gone, but that's due to the bronzer rather than anything else, as all the other product is still there, which I do like. It's not oxidised any as well, which is also a good factor. However, I just wouldn't wear it. I have foundations that look better around here. Do you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't look good, and for a 10-hour wear, I think it has held up well, and I think if it works for you in terms of how it applies to the skin, it looks good on your skin type, then give it a go, because it seems to like last like solidly, looks near enough the same from application to 10-hour point. Do you know what I'm saying? Which I think is a benefit of it. It does hold for quite a long time. It just doesn't suit my skin, unfortunately. That's a shame though, I was really looking forward to this one. But anyway, if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave. And if you press that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload. Thank you for watching.